For this leather work apron, you'll have one piece for the body. You'll have two leg pieces, like this. You will have two pockets for the leg pieces, one chest pocket, and you'll need about 72 inches of strap length, 3/4 of an inch wide. The first step is to place the apron pocket at the chest level. On the reverse, we use some double-sided tape to hold it in place. About a 1/16 of an inch in from the edge, across the sides and the bottom. Peel away the protective covering. And then eyeball it for placement. I like the top corners to be about 1/2 of an inch away from the edges. To verify the upper edge of the pocket is parallel to the upper edge of the apron, simply measure from the top edge of the pocket to the top edge of the apron. In my case, I have 6.5 inches. Stitch no more than 1/8 of an inch away from the edge. You'll want to backstitch at the top, come down, pivot, come back up around. Your pocket will be more stable if you run a second row of stitching. So I like to pivot in, come in 1/4 of an inch, and then come back down and around. Adhere and sew the leg pocket in the same fashion as the chest pocket. On the back, place the double-sided tape, about a 1/16 of an inch, on the two sides and the bottom edge. Peel away the protective backing and place at the bottom, centered to the leg strap. Sew in the same fashion. Backstitch this side no more than 1/8 of an inch away from the edge. Pivot, come across, and come back up. A second row of stitching will help to stabilize the leather edges. Once pockets have been stitched in place, at the top edge of the leg cover of the apron, place a mark just inside of 1/2 of an inch away from the edge, right there, and then tape within that edge as well. Remove the protective layer, and then we're going to place the leg coverings just underneath the body of the apron, overlapping that line that you made just slightly. It should line up at the edge here, and it should nest here. Once taped in place, stitch no more than 1/8 of an inch away from the raw edge of the upper apron, and then about 1/4 inch away from that, capturing the back of the leg coverings twice as you do it. For the apron strings, or the straps, place a mark 1 3/8 of an inch down from the upper edge of the apron at the chest, and then place your strap so it covers it slightly. Box stitch around the perimeter to secure, about 1/8 of an inch away from the edge all the way around. To make it easier to sew, place a piece of the double-sided tape right down the center to adhere it temporarily while you sew. You'll do that for both straps. The next step is to assemble and attach the D-rings. We have 2 D-rings for each assembly. On the portion here that holds the bottom of the apron string, you're going to place 2 of them. Fold the leather back about 1 inch to 1.5 inches, and then just box stitch this area or stitch across. You'll do that on both sides. And the same thing will be for the keepers for the leg straps. We'll do 2 on the inside and 2 on the outside for each leg strap. And the same applies. Turn the leather back and stitch in place on this side and on this side. For the apron strap keeper, you'll cut 2 pieces of leather. One from the leather that you're creating the apron from. This will be a 3-inch square. And then a piece of veg tan, about 7 to 8 ounces, to give it some more body. We're going to glue the 2 pieces together. This piece will be cut at 3.5 inches. We want the lining cut larger so we don't have to worry about lining them up precisely. Then we'll just trim the excess away. Before we glue them, we're going to rough up the backs to give them better adhesion. Do this to both the leather piece of the self and then also to the veg tan. Once they're roughed, then glue the backs and then we will adhere them together, trimming away the excess of the veg tan. When gluing, make certain you're working in a well-ventilated place. Contact cements have quite a bit of fume and are likely not best for your health in an enclosed environment. We're going to place one piece on top of the other, that way we don't make a big mess when we're putting glue on. Less is more, so don't make it real gummy. If it's too gummy, it won't adhere correctly. So we'll do that. We'll get the first piece glued and do the other one. Make certain you go all the way to the edges. It takes about 20 to 30 minutes for it to dry when it's still tacky, but it doesn't stick to you. And we'll let those set. Once the glue is set, we're going to place the leathers glued sides together. I'm going to use a brayer. The next step is to trim away the veg tan or the lining piece. Use a metal ruler and a clicker knife and we'll cut away the excess. Place the ruler on the diagonal and measure in 1 1/8 of an inch from each corner. Using a slot punch that is equal to the size of my apron strap, I'm going to go ahead and punch through from the face side. Thread the apron strap from the upper left to the bottom right. This is for the left apron strap. And then do the same for the right apron strap. To the right. And then down through the left. Thread the apron strap through the double D-rings, so the left strap will come through the right, and just weave back on itself. The excess you'll use for the leg straps. You're going to thread them the same way. Through the D-rings, looped back on themselves, on both sides. And your apron's complete.